Yo, welcome back. This is Stu42 with another Minecraft video. As you can see, we are deep in the bowels of, well, underneath my base actually, and I am merrily mining away because last time we discovered we're going to need a lot more iridium. Now, while we do have that method of going into runic dungeons and getting some from there, that's starting to get a bit thin, and it's starting to not be that sustainable. I'm going to have to go further and further away from the entrance point to the runic dungeons just to keep getting more and more iridium. So I mean, I suppose I could, but where's the fun in that? It's let's build something big instead. So we're back on the mass fabricator way of looking at things, but to do that we're going to need a lot more power. So this is what I'm doing this for. Now you can see I've got the guides up. This is because we're going to build farms like MFR farms, Mine Factory Reloaded. So each chunk is 16, so we've got 16 and then 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So 25 by 25 is the maximum size for an MFR farm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one in here once I clear it out. And if we run back over to my elevator, go down, here's one I've already done. So this is a 25 by 25 area from this corner to that corner. Pretty massive. Also looks out on the ravine under my base, which is pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one here, which will be, I don't know, sugar, and the other one will be probably melons. So much the same. So yeah, one on the bottom, one there, and then probably up on this level we'll start building the actual power stuff. I'll need to clean it up and, you know, mine out all the stuff. And then, as you can see, above that is my nuclear, and then we're back into the rest of my base the way it normally is. So what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this on a much larger scale. So I'm going to not use golems for this just because I really need it to just be fast and work, and golems you have to sort of mess around with having multiple golems and upgrading them and making sure they don't die and all that sort of stuff. So it's just going to be easier for me to have the harvesters, the MFR harvesters. This is still recovering from making all the Sonarium from last episode. Last episode really, it took a bit of a toll with this thing. So that's what we're up to. It's going to be, again, quite a bit of me cutting because I need to mine all this stuff out, put a bunch of dirt down, make a ton of crop sticks because we're going to try and do it with Agricraft, which means we won't actually need to have the planters in the middle. We should just be able to have the harvesters on the side. And yeah, we'll just hook it up over this side here somewhere, wherever the middle happens to be. It's sort of here somewhere, I think. So I might clear all this out as well. But anyway, I'll be back once I've cleared all this out and we're starting to look for a bit of space for these two farms. We'll get it all hooked up and see what sort of return we're getting on both the sugar and the melon seeds. So see you in just a bit. Alrighty, we have our two fields all fully planted. Well, not planted, we've got all the dirt down anyway. So I've left sort of a 4-block gap for this one, and then down we've got another one here. I haven't put the blocks in the top yet. Now the reason I have those blocks in the top is that I'm actually thinking of using the Agricraft sprinklers. Well, I'm not thinking of using it. I am going to use the Agricraft sprinklers. I've made 18 of these already. 9 for each field will give us the coverage that we need. So I'm not entirely sure how this works. I've never done this particular thing before. I think it needs like gravity, so I think we're going to have to put the tank up high somewhere. Probably, I don't know, if I'm going to cut into the wall. Just for now, I may tidy this up later. Now I'm going to want this sort of in the middle, probably. There, looks good. So this means that we can go now. Is that going to be the middle? We want sort of a gap of 1, and then let's go with the hammer. Cool. So this, I know it's probably a bit dark for you guys, but we should break out. There we go. Any second. So this will let us do our tank, which I'm hoping to sort of put here. Awesome. Okay. Well, and there's a big enough gap to go all the way down to the bottom one as well. So to build the tank, let's just do our usual. So the tank is 6 of those. Now I think these can be made into bigger tanks. Yes, they can. Awesome. So that means that we're going to need to make more of these. 9 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3. Well, okay, I brought some more up with me. Probably that many. 12. So let's just give you guys some light. Now, this is gonna, that's cool. Now, will it make into, awesome. That is very cool. All right, so now we need to get some water into there somehow. Now, I'm gonna try and use an everfull urn here. Now, I might need to put this, we're gonna see the urn, unfortunately. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make it even bigger, just so that it looks a bit nicer. That's if I have enough of these. Oh yeah, I do. Cool. 9, nice handy number. And we can see in there. Cool. Now we should be able to throw our everfull urn down over here. Put a, wrong thing. Put a hardened fluid duct on it. Excellent. Throw our thing in there. Turn it off. Well, hey, so we've got some water. Oh, and it says in the tooltip there, water level out of 216,000. Okay, so that is a lot of water. Awesome. So that's what we're going to need for that. Now we're also going to need a bunch of channels. So doing that trick, we'll grab 60. Might as well make everything into the rest. Cool. Now, what we're going to do from here is our channels are going to run. Now, this is where I'm not entirely sure if I need to go out the side. Wow, it takes a long time to break them. Doing that. So how can I make my channels go lower? That could be interesting. So if we're going to have the channels, let's go here, 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 here. Now, this is where one of the sprinklers is going to go. Whew. Just enough water, just enough room, sorry, to go underneath. Awesome. Cool, so let's just get those 3 going at once at the moment. I may need to get another, yeah, I'm hoping. Yeah, that's not going to work. Now, is there anything in the manual? There's great. A tank, an irrigation channel. Yeah, so there's nothing there. I don't know what this, I think that's just a redstone signal to turn it on and off. So let's hope that I can get another one of the fluid ducts. Let's just grab a bunch of them. And I should have some spare servos just in case. No, I'm really not sure if this is going to work. I haven't actually done any of this stuff before. Doesn't seem to hook up with that, and that doesn't seem to hook up with that either. All right, so maybe we do need to have the tank being on the same level, which does mean we're going to need 2 of these, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do, that's a very full water tank. What I'm going to do is we'll leave that there. Let's just grab some more. What? Oh. Not quite the right pattern. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to add another row on the bottom of this. It does mean I'm going to have 2 water tanks somehow. I might redesign this. Hey, look at that. Alright, so that is going to keep everything nice and watered for us. And then we're going to need, does the end one run? Yes, I had read somewhere that you need to have one of these, have an irrigation channel 1 block further than the last sprinkler, but this appears to be working just fine. And then of course I'm going to have to run the irrigation channels out to here as well. Grab that one back. Cool, so that's going pretty well. Now that we've got that many hooked up, the one thing I wanted to check on. Cool, well it looks like the water level is staying just the same, which means our Everfull urn is coping with it just fine. It does mean, however, that we're going to have to have another water tank here, unless I can figure out a way of piping water down to another one down here. So I might do all that off camera. So let me set all this up. I'll get all the sprinklers set up. We'll get all the irrigation channels at least in, and then I'll be back. And we're nearly done. I'm going to just end this build with the farm setups, I think, and we'll do the rest in the next couple of videos following. Anyway, I'll be back in just a moment once we've got the rest of these irrigation channels set up, and hopefully I'll have a solution for getting the water to go, up and down from this farm to the one below. See you in just a bit. Okie dokie, so after a little bit of experimenting with how to get the water to go up and down, it really doesn't work that well. There's supposed to be a way that you can add a tall tank like this, and then you have you have your bigger tank here, and then you do a channel across to here, and then a channel out the bottom as well, and water's supposed to flow down like that. I just could not get that working. For some reason, it either bugged out, or the top tank would get full, and then this irrigation channel would just never have any water in it. In fact, if you left the channel by itself, it would fill up with its 500 water, but as soon as you connect to anything else to the side of it, you'd end up with this just never getting full, this getting drained, and the water disappearing to nowhere. So I don't know where the water was going, but it definitely wasn't filling up any of the tanks, and none of the sprinklers down the end actually worked either. So the solution I've come up with is much more low-tech than that. So as you can see, we've got the stuff sprinkling there, and then if we go up, it's sprinkling there as well. So literally off to the side here, I just have these tiny tanks. I've got a single tank there. Actually, let's just tidy that up. So we've got a single tank there, and the water from the single urn is actually enough to fill both this tank, which as you can see is 8,000 out of 8,000, and this tank here, which is just slightly less than 16,000. I presume that's because it's constantly emptying. But that seems to be enough to run all 18 sprinklers across both the floors. Cool. So now all that leaves us to do is to basically, we need a bunch of crop sticks, and we need to get this stuff, get our hoe out. Now I'm probably going to use just the Certus quartz hoe, to be honest, because it's pretty cheap, and we have, how many is that? 2,000 Certus quartz. So plenty of Certus quartz to go around. We just need a bit of wood. So I'm going to once again run away and we'll make a few of these hoes. I'm not even sure how many we're going to need. Let's just make sure. Oh, we have got some more wood down here. So if we grab those, actually we don't even need that. And then I left the sticks up the top. Let's just grab some more. I'm sure I've made a quartz one before. Only the nether quartz one works now. That must have changed in the last patch that we did. That's alright. We have enough of the nether quartz as well. So we should be able to. Hooray. Cool. Now when we do this, yeah, look at that. They're nice and irrigated. So they're going that dark color because the sprinklers are obviously working. Well, there's a bit of a gap here where these ones aren't going. Yeah, okay. So this obviously, maybe I don't have enough water pressure to do this, or they're not quite high enough. Maybe they need to be higher. But that certainly is interesting. They are not, yeah, as you can see, interesting. Doesn't quite reach. These are supposed to be 7 by 7, but I guess they have to be a little bit higher. Alright, I might embed these in the roof and we'll just raise them up a level and see if that works. But anyway, I will be back once I've done that and fixed this, and we'll get all of this tilled and get some crop sticks out and start planting some stuff. And then that's probably honestly it for this episode. It's already getting fairly long. Next time we'll go through hooking up the harvest and stuff. But I'll be back in just a minute with the solution to this last little hurdle, and then we'll close off the episode. So see you in a bit.